There are people in this country who have sat across from their boss, been offered a pay rise, and asked them not to. Genuinely, grown adults, good at their jobs, turning down money on purpose. And here's the thing, some of them were right to. Not because ambition is bad, not because they'd gone full monk, because they'd done the maths, and the maths said this rise will cost me more than it pays me. Now you were never taught that this is even possible. You were taught the opposite. More gross, more net. Every rise helps. Onwards and upwards. And for most of the income scale, that's true. But scattered along the British payslip, there are a handful of exact points, invisible, unmarked, never mentioned in any offer letter, where the escalator briefly turns into a trapdoor. Today, I'm giving you the map, because the difference between the people who get caught and the people who don't isn't income. It's whether anyone ever showed them where the edges are. First, let's kill a myth, because half the fear around this is aimed at the wrong place. Crossing into the 40% band does not mean your whole salary gets taxed at 40. It never has. Only the slice above the line pays the higher rate. If you get a rise that nudges you over 50,270, you keep at least 58 pence of every extra pound. Less than before, sure. We covered that slow squeeze in episode 3. But a rise at the plain 40% line always leaves you better off, and anyone who tells you otherwise is doing folklore, not tax. So no, the danger isn't the band. The danger is what the system has quietly bolted onto certain incomes. Because Britain doesn't just have tax rates, it has withdrawal rates. Benefits and allowances that get clawed back as you earn, stacked on top of the tax you're already paying. And where a clawback stacks on a tax band, your real rate, the rate nobody prints anywhere, spikes. Economists call it the effective marginal rate. I call it the bit they don't put in the job advert. Here's the map. Zone 1, £60,000, and it's got kids in it. The moment your income passes 60 grand, the child benefit clawback starts. For every £200 you earn over it, you hand back 1% of your family's child benefit until it's fully gone at 80. 2 kids, that benefit is worth about 2.25 grand a year. So between 60 and 80,000, a parent's real rate on each extra pound is 40% tax, plus 2 national insurance, plus 11-ish of clawback. Mid-50s% on every pound of your rise, 3 kids pushing 60. Zone 2, 100,000. Cross it, and the government starts confiscating your tax-free allowance, a pound of it for every 2 you earn. Run the numbers, and the slice between 100 and 125 is taxed at an effective 62%. The highest real rate in the system, and it sits not on billionaires, but on that stretch. But Zone 3 is the one that should genuinely frighten you, and it lives at the same address. 100,001 pound. Because eligibility for funded childcare hours and tax-free childcare doesn't taper, it's a cliff. Earn a single pound over the line with young kids in nursery, and the support vanishes entirely. For a parent with 2 little ones in full-time childcare, that lost support can be worth well over 10 grand a year, which produces the most absurd sentence in British personal finance. There are parents for whom a salary of £101,000 delivers a worse life than 99, and who would need a rise of 30 grand or more just to climb back to where they already were. Nobody warns you. There's no letter. HR doesn't know. The trapdoor is just there, painted the same color as the floor. So what do you do about it? One idea, and it changes everything. The system doesn't actually judge you on your salary. It judges you on something called adjusted net income. Salary minus what goes into your pension, give or take. Every single one of those cliff edges, the 60, the 100, all of it is measured against that number. Which means your pension isn't just a savings pot anymore. It's a steering wheel. Say you're on 64 grand with 2 kids, 4,000 into the pension by salary sacrifice, and your adjusted income reads 60. The clawback never touches you. The full child benefit stays. Tax relief covers a big chunk of the contribution, and future you gets the lot. Or the nursery years parent offered 105. Take the salary, lose the childcare, and the rise is a mirage. Sacrifice enough to sit under the line, and you keep every hour of support while banking serious pension at 62% relief. Same rise, opposite outcome, one form. And if a chunk of your income arrives as bonus, ask payroll about bonus sacrifice before it pays out, because a bonus is precisely the thing that shoves people over a cliff they didn't know existed. To be clear, this isn't a loophole. It's the system working exactly as designed. The design just assumed you'd never read it. Now the reframe, because the lesson here is absolutely not refuse pay rises. Earn everything you can. The lesson is that a rise is not a number, it's a route, and you get a say in where it lands. Payslip now, pension later, or shoved off a cliff. Those are the options, and the default route is chosen for you unless you choose otherwise. Episode 3 showed you the tide coming in slowly. This is the same coastline with the cliff edges finally marked. And once they're marked, they stop being dangerous. A cliff you can see is just a view. So here's your one job. Tonight, work out your adjusted net income, one sum. Your gross salary minus your annual pension contributions. Write it down and look at where it sits. Comfortably clear of 60 and 100, you're fine. Carry on. Within a rise or a bonus of either line, congratulations, you've just spotted a trapdoor before standing on it, which puts you ahead of nearly everyone who'll cross it this year. One number, that's the whole map. See you in the next one.